All right, welcome back. Always into something. Today we're going to change the oil on a Honda Pioneer 700. This is based, it gives you an idea of when to change oil to help kind of keep the maintenance up on these. And it bases itself on hours and on miles. But what it'll do, it'll pop up, I think that's coming out all right, and you'll see a little wrench here. Now mine has a wrench 2. There's also a wrench with a 1 sign on it, and those are just different maintenance intervals. So with the wrench number 2, there's just a few more things you're supposed to be looking at, maybe your differentials, your air filters, and stuff like that. I keep tabs of all of that stuff, more than it's necessary just by the way we use them. But I'm going to get started on this. Today I am going to do the oil change and filter, and I am going to do the front and rear diff because it's been a little while. So let me kind of get set up and get underneath this thing and we'll get started. Alright, so right in the middle of the bike, you got to get underneath here and you will see a panel right in the middle. This is right in between the kind of in the tires, right below the engine, the rear of the engine. And there's 4 bolts to get to this access panel that gets you up to your drain hole, drain plug. So I've already loosened these up a little bit. Let me just go ahead and take this off real quick. This is a 10 millimeter. Just pull this thing out of the way. And then that leaves you access to the drain plug. I know this looks all oily and everything. I just blasted everything with WD-40 so that all these screws would come out earlier, a little easier. So I soaked them earlier so that would help out. But let me get set up and find out what millimeter that is, and we'll get that draining. All right, so that's a 17 millimeter, and we're just gonna go ahead and loosen this thing up a little bit. That was easy. We've got a catch can. Gonna make a little mess here, I'm sure. This thing's really long. Now I did start this up and warm it up just a little bit. Not the cleanest looking. This looks like it's definitely due. I only run Honda oil in here, GN4, GN5. One's a full synthetic. This time I'm going to run something a little different, Amazol, just to shake it up. But anything that you run in here, you got to make sure that it's rated for transmissions on UTVs, side-by-sides and stuff, because it affects how your transmission shifts and runs. So don't shortcut this and use some automotive oil. It's not going to work for you. So let's let that drain. I'm going to go up top and show you where the fill is, and also over to where we take the oil filter off. Okay, so on the driver's side of the bike, this is the oil filler. You got a little trick when you fill that. We'll go over that. If you look down a little bit further, down there's your dipstick, which you can get through from the top side, or you can also get to it from the bottom side, but you're reaching around that exhaust. So if it's been running, you know, watch that, obviously. So I think we're drained out down there. Let's go around to the passenger side. And same thing. So I've got the seat off, just slid into the front. There's these rubber little covers to cover your batteries and that type of stuff. Again, that's on the passenger side. And if you look down, right down there, I'm going to try to So this is your oil cover and housing right there. We'll get that off next. Again, you want to put something underneath that because you're going to get a little bit of oil out of that. And that might be just a 10 millimeter, we'll see. But I'm going to move everything over and take this thing off. Okay, so got the drip pan underneath there. Hopefully you can see everything well enough, but this is the cover here that we're trying to take off, and then this ended up being 11. Sorry, hold on. No, it's a 12 millimeter. This ended up being a 12 millimeter. So let me get this in there. And it's not a lot of room for the camera, I know. Get this. Okay. Now, with this, you kind of want to be careful because there's some springs and washers that needs to come out in a very specific way and go back in a specific way. So I'm going to see just how much of this I can show you guys. If not, we may just have to do it on the bench. And this cover sometimes can be a little finicky about how it comes off. It's more than loose. There's a little lip right there. I may have to get a little screwdriver and tap on that just a little bit. So let me try that real quick. Alright, so let's see if we can pry on this just a little bit. And just get it out of there. See that O-ring? I've got a new O-ring, so I'm not too worried about that damaging it, but you just gotta, like I said, there is a spring on this thing, so make sure you've got this all the way loose because that spring will keep tension on that. So we're draining out right now. Let me go ahead and get this thing out of here. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. You want to be very aware of how you take this thing out of here. I've got both my hands full, but I'm going to put this on the bench on a rag, and then I'm also going to show you the manual how the spring and the washer goes in there. I've heard nightmare stories of people not putting the spring in the right place and the filter not doing like it's supposed to do, and it creates issues for people down the road. So I just want to make sure we show you that part. Alright, just for the heck of it, I wanted to go through the manual, just give you a quick rundown. So this is our assembly, and you know, this is your cover, that's the O-ring. Now I'm replacing that, I'll show you that. This is the bolt that holds the cover on, another O-ring, but these are the washers and the springs that I was talking about. So you got to make sure that it's filter, washer, spring, then your cover. And that's what people, I guess, get messed up from time to time. And then over here it does say 13 foot-pounds to tighten the cover. You know, I'm just one of those guys that just snugs things up to when it feels good. Sorry, everything's a mess. Yeah, we've been preparing for hurricanes the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been nuts. But so this is the new, that's the new O-ring I just put on, and then this is the new O-ring. Some kits come with everything ready to go. I just bought all this stuff separate with the filter. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed and torque back down, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so there it is again. It's still loose. I just sat it in place. But that's it. You just kind of get it in there. Go ahead and get your thread to start. It'll be a little tough. Like I say, that spring puts some tension on it. So once you get it snug, I did mention too, on all those O-rings, put a little oil, leftover oil on there, so it helps slide it in. Make sure that those O-rings don't roll over. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut past that and get this tightened up. All right, we're back into the machine. And this too has a little washer, sealing washer here, as well as another O-ring. I have replaced those recently. I don't know how often you should do that, but some manuals do it every time, and I think it's a little excessive, but I have changed them periodically. Okay. And I was going to look that up too. Hang on one second. Okay, for reference, this bolt is 18 PSI torque. That's the specs on that. So now it's just a matter of putting our cover back on and putting these 4 bolts in, and all of the draining of the oil is all done at that point. It's just a matter of filling it. So the maintenance cover is back on. Everything's tightened up. I don't want to take you guys down another journey. I got another issue. I'll just show you just real quick. If you'll notice, this is my rear drive that comes off the back of the block, and you'll see that there's nothing going to my rear differential. Well, that's because I had a yoke go bad that I'm also replacing. So while I've got this apart, I'm going to go ahead and replace that seal. I say all that because I can't put oil in it quite yet, because I want to replace that seal. But I'm going to finish up this other video, and if you want to stick around for the seal replacement, go right ahead. So let's come back up real quick. And here's your cap. I'm in Florida, so I run 1040. It's nice and warm down here. And just take your cover off and use a funnel, but fill it very slowly. It says it takes 3.1 quarts of oil to fill it. And if you try to fill it too fast, it'll just make a mess. Just go slow and steady and fill it. So I got to come back to that. But let me go ahead and run you through the reset, if I can do that, with holding this and filming at the same time, because I need 2 hands. All right. So it says to hold down. Oops, I got to shut her off. It says to hold down on this. Keep it held down. Turn on the ignition. Give it 2 seconds. And release. And you'll see that our wrench is now gone. And if I'd actually put oil in it, I'd be all done. So that's how you change the oil from start to finish, less me actually filling the oil. So appreciate it. We're always into something, and if you could like and subscribe my channel, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to hang in there, we're going to go ahead and pop this seal out real quick and change that, and maybe that's something you might come across someday yourself. But otherwise, thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll be right back for the seal. Alright, I hope you can see what I've done here. So what I do for these seals is I just take a self-tapping screw and I just screw it right into the center of the seal. Make sure you don't get on the edge or anything to where you're going to mar anything up. But just do a self-tapper in there with a head on it like that. And then now I can just put something in there, pry on that screw, and that seal should come right on out of there. So I'll probably get it started because I won't be able to film this at the same time, but you'll see what I'm into. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm using also a piece of wood that I can pry on, but I'm just taking this and prying out on that screw. Sorry, let me come around here. And then you can see how it's almost out now. So I'm just going to pry it just a little bit more, and with the piece of wood blocking behind it, and pop it on out of there. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to show you real quick here what I did now that it's out. So that's it. I just run a little self tapper in there, and it's pretty soft. That drill goes right in there, and then you just get it on one side and pry it out, and that's the old one. There's the new one ready to go on. Did put some oil on it so it slides in there a little bit, makes it a little easier. And it's already pushing right in by hand. But what I've got is a large socket that I'm gonna set over that and tap it in there. So again, I need to have a couple hands to do that, but I'm just gonna tap that seal in, and that seal's replaced. Wasn't too bad at all. All right, so I just finished putting oil in, and I just want to show you guys one little thing that's a little unique about the Hondas is the dipstick and how to test that. I've checked it and we're all good, but I just want to show you. So this is the access again that I showed from below. This is how the manual tells you to get down to it. It's just a little hard sometimes, but anyway, so let's take the dipstick out, and we're going to wipe it off. Now what you want to do is not thread it back in. You just want to stick it back in the hole. In fact, what I do is I just turn it the opposite direction so that it doesn't thread in and it gets all over the dipstick, and then pull it out, and then that's how you want to check the oil. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's right in between the two marks, right in the middle. In fact, I may run it and then top it off just a little bit more. But don't put it into the hole and tighten it all the way in and check it, because it's gonna mess your reading up. You're only gonna stick it in the hole and then pull it back out. And that's how you test it. So just letting you know that. So we're gonna put that all the way back in, start putting all the stuff back together, and then again, if you missed the other part of the final part was to reset your wrench, is to just hold that down, turn the ignition switch to on, it'll flash a couple times, and then the wrench will disappear. So that'll complete your oil change, and that's pretty easy. So if you want to come back and look at my next journey here, putting in that rear yoke, that should be some fun. But again, I appreciate you guys watching. We're always into something. Like I say, like and subscribe, really appreciate it. Just trying to do this for fun, but it's good to know that people are watching it, and hopefully I'm helping somebody. Take care.